Hello, welcome to JAV Show. This is Jorge.
And this is Viv.
What up, guys? We're gonna have a tangent day.
Hello.
We've had some hard topics lately. Have we had hard topics? We talked about the election lately.
St. Patrick's Day, that's not that hard.
We talked about careers, like most of that.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That was pretty deep.
That is deep.
Yeah. Let's try to have a lighter one. I don't know if it's gonna go light. I'll go first. It's not that light, but I think it's kind of interesting. So,
All right.
I recently got my car registered.
Sick.
And it's a family friend. So my dad knows this person. It's a family friend we always go to. Like she just, I think she's like a manager at a registry.
Oh shit. I was gonna ask, why did you have to go to a family friend too?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. She just gives us like a minor discount. She saves license plates for us and stuff. So
Cool.
we get, like nicer numbers.
What number? Oh, I guess you can't say what number did you
Yeah.
get, but did you pick one that's better?
It's just like if there's a full list and the one she gave me was better than the list, but there was one on the list that was still not bad. Like one of them on the list was like something like the first three letters and then 9799. I was like, oh, that's pretty easy to remember.
Yeah.
Okay. But the one she gave me was a little bit better. So I was like, okay, it's not as easy to remember, but there's more eights in it, obviously, for Asians. So that's good. But yeah, she was talking about, so she's actually her daughter. I don't know how old her daughter is. I don't know anything about her other than she's a family friend, has a registry. She comes to temple sometimes. She was saying that her daughter is going to Thailand with some friends, and then she's going to go from Thailand to China to meet up with her and the rest of the family. Because they're going on a trip to China. And she heard of a story of someone being kidnapped in Thailand.
What's the story?
Like a couple going to Thailand, and then as the boyfriend was leaving the taxi, like getting out of the taxi driver just sped away with the girl still in it. And it's been like 9 months. Yeah.
And they know these people?
I don't know how well they know them. She's just telling us in passing of why she changed her trip plan to like actually meet up with her daughter in Thailand before she goes to China. Because then she's with a group of friends, but then the last couple of days, her friends are staying, and then she's going to China. So instead, that she's gonna actually go meet up with her daughter in Thailand for a couple of days, and then go to China with her, because she's worried about that stuff.
She's worried that her daughter. Well, how does that change if she's with her? If
She's with her
in the
mom.
story the guy was with his girl, but they just
I mean, I
kidnapped
guess
her.
they'll just be extra vigilant. I don't know. It's just shit they're hearing about with Thailand and kidnapping and stuff. I was like, ooh, that's kind of scary. Oh, it's scary because
I feel like it happens all the time though.
Yeah, probably if you're not like aware.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Indonesia soon. So I was like, oh shit, maybe I should like. I'm not actually worried about me, but I could kind of empathize with that like boyfriend in that situation.
Yeah.
It's kind of his fault, but not completely his fault. Like, why don't you just fucking get out of the car right away, right? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't think. Why would it be his fault?
No, but like, you know what I mean? Like, if I was him, I would feel like it's my fault a little bit. You know what I mean? In that situation. Then I just thought about that. I was, oh shit, I'm going to Indonesia. Maybe I should fucking like be very like, it's weird because Joyce is born in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
But I still want to like tell her, like, yo, don't fucking leave your phone here. Don't fucking do this shit. Don't do this. Because like I feel like I'm very attentive and very like safeguarding my own shit a lot. And I have to extend that to the people I travel with sometimes. And sometimes it's stressful. So I was just like, oh shit, this is kind of like a wake up call. It's like, I know I've traveled all over the world, but it doesn't mean you can just like not think about these things because they do happen.
I'm curious what the guy did the second his girlfriend.
I have no idea. Like, what would you do? Like, I would try to run after it, but like, what can I do, right? If it's like a straight
probably
away.
try and wave off another cab and be like, follow that car. Just like
yeah,
the
but
movies.
like, what if you don't? What if they don't even speak your language?
I'm sure it's easy to wave down a cab.
Yeah, no, I understand, but like, I don't know enough of the story to see how. Like, I would give him the benefit of the doubt because I don't know enough of it. Like,
yeah.
What if it's like in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. They just came back from a club or some shit? I don't know.
And there's no other cars.
Yeah, something like that, right? I'm sure there might be roads where there's very little cars or almost no cars.
Oh, okay. If there was no other car, then I think the next thing I would do is I would pull out my phone and call them. Call my partner and be like, turn on your tracker right now.
Something like that. I mean, I feel like everyone's first instinct would be to run at it, no?
Oh, wait, yeah. I would be put on your tracker right now, but also fucking get out of the car.
Yeah, but
I don't care if you get
I'm sure they have like safety locks or I'm sure if they're kidnapping someone, this isn't their first rodeo, right? I'm sure they figure some way for them to not get out of the car.
You can have a safety lock like that. I'm sure, because I feel like if the guy got out,
I'm working on cars. I'm sure they can do a lot of shit with the car. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
okay,
I mean,
well, if she can't roll out of the car, I'd be like, yeah, at least turn on your tracker and
right. But it's also
live. Give me your live location, and I'll try and follow you like right now. I'm gonna try and find a cab, and I'm gonna call the cops at the same time.
I mean, it's tough.
I think that's, like, the best
I think the best thing to do is just like, it sounds weird, but just be super aware in those situations.
Oh, really?
Because I feel like if they know that if they know you're super relaxed and not thinking and just like, you know, whatever, then they're probably more likely to do it to you. But if they know I'm always looking at my phone, always looking at the road, always looking at him, and like just like keep checking my surroundings and shit, I feel like they would less likely, I'm not saying it's completely preventative, but I feel like they would choose a different target because they're like, oh, this person's like kind of alert right now.
Yeah.
Probably not the best person to do this to, right?
I totally get what you mean. The first few times I took an Uber alone, I kept my phone out.
Yeah.
And I had Google Maps on the whole time.
Yeah,
and I told my sister where I was. And every single time I hop into an Uber, this is like automatic. I feel like my dad instilled this in my head when we were younger. To always remember the license plate. And always touch one part of the outside of the car when you get on.
I see. But I feel like not everyone has that that awareness, right? Like in general, I am very aware of my surroundings all the time. But it's kind of a wake up call because it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be complacent. I know I've traveled to many places around the world.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, like, even though, you know, certain places are quote unquote safe, there are certain places that you should just be more aware. Like, I probably wouldn't have this much attention in like Japan, for example, or like certain countries, right?
You could teach Joyce where the jugular is.
I mean, I don't think we have to go to that extent. It's literally just like, yo, we get out cars together.
Okay.
We get in cars together. Right? You know what I mean?
Or maybe you have her get out first.
Something like that. Or like,
that's another good one.
Don't just hold your phone around. Right? Easy for you to get stolen, you know?
Have one of those lanyards attached to your phone or whatever
things like that. Like, don't go to somewhere random at night, obviously, right?
Put an air tag somewhere on your phone or on your body or something, so if somebody gets kidnapped or lost, you got it. Don't
just like in Edmonton, I feel like we're so used to like, if I'm walking with you guys, I can just like walk away a little bit, and then if I find you, I find you. If I don't, I just like text you. I'm like, we'll meet up over there, right? Yeah. But it's like, you can't do that in this random place. Like, I'm very aware of that stuff, but I can see some other people may not be aware of those things.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, yo, this ain't your backyard. Like, you can't just randomly walk away from the group and then expect to not be yelled at after or something like that. Right?
Do you do the thing where if you bring cash to a foreign place that you separate your cash so that you don't have all your cash in one spot? And then you also have your cash somewhere where people can't just steal it easily. Yeah.
Well, it's usually hidden if it's in the room, and then it's usually like I have some on me, but then some is always in the room, like wherever I'm staying and shit. That's usually the case. Like, depends. If I go to the States, I don't really care. If it's like for like a 3-day trip to somewhere, I don't really give a fuck. I'm not bringing that much money anyways. Right? But yeah, usually I would do that. I would just, I don't know. I always am very attentive on this stuff, but it's nice to, not nice as in like, I don't want that to happen to anyone.
Yeah.
But it's good that I heard that where it's like, I'm not immune to that shit. Or like the world isn't like, if you go on so many trips and nothing ever happens to you, you feel like the world's safer. But it's like, maybe because you haven't been to specific areas or you've just been really lucky and stuff, but there is always shit happening, right?
I feel like that's kind of the naivety that I have.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm aware enough to prevent most things. If something happens to me, then it's just shit luck. But I think in that situation, I would be able to help myself most of the time. And I think that for sure is very naive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, even if someone tries to kidnap me, I'm sure I can like do a decent job of fighting them off. But I'm like, okay, let's be real. If it was some big ass dude or like multiple people or they just have a weapon, I'm fucked.
Yeah. And I feel like I have been on many trips and nothing's really ever happened, and it's like, oh, I shouldn't be complacent because of that. Like, it doesn't mean I should be any less aware, and it doesn't mean that I should not like at least let the people I'm traveling with know. Be like, hey, like, this isn't Canada. You know what I mean? this is fucking, a quote unquote third world country.
Mhm.
Let's be real. There's not that many first world countries, right?
Mhm.
That's why there's a third world and a first world, right? So it's like
What's
it's
a second
still
world country?
I don't know, transitioners. I don't know
Can
what
you
the fuck.
Google it? I just want to see what's considered a second world.
Yeah, but that story kind of like put a little shock in me. I was like, fuck, this shit still happens nowadays, and yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
could. Like that's literally how most of these shit start, right? Like stories and stuff start right now. Second world country is historical term developed by the West for states that made up. Oh, so they were just being ideologists. They're saying first world's us, second world are the commies, and then third world are the poor people, probably. Yeah, it's a Cold War thing.
Oh shit. Okay.
And then it goes straight to third world. Third world's just the poor, I think.
All
I
right
don't know.
then.
I mean, that's how we use it right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fourth world. I don't know. I mean,
What's fourth world?
I have no idea. The connotation nowadays is third world countries are just poor people, usually. Oh, fourth world are like hunter gatherers, like Mongolians and shit, like nomadic people.
Oh,
Like
interesting.
the olden day natives were probably considered fourth world nomads.
Mm.
There's not many nomads left in the world, to be honest. I think it's
You can
literally
be a digital nomad.
no, like the actual version of
Yeah.
it. I think it's literally just Mongolia. I'm trying to think of other countries that are still nomads, or still have people that are nomads.
I have no idea.
I can only think of Africa, Mongolia, and maybe random parts of
Island
South
countries.
America. No, but they're how are they nomad? They just stay on their island,
All right.
right? And they'll try to like farm their island or something. Nomads are like they move
Mm-hmm. They keep moving around.
constantly, right? Yeah, there's not many left. Anyways, yeah, I was like, oh shit, that kind of popped in my mind, and then I also kind of like empathized with that guy. I was like, fuck, I don't even know what I would do. I would blame myself for sure.
I'd be so miserable. I feel.
Yeah, right.
Like your next few months or until you find her.
Yeah.
Are going
Or
to
at
be
least know she's dead. At least something.
Yeah,
right? At least you
I guess
know the whereabouts.
You're gonna be consumed with trying to find her.
Yeah.
And then like where do you even start as just a single human being who has no resources or no experience
yeah.
finding somebody, but now you're gonna have to be like one of the top experts in this or
Fuck, man.
somebody who's really enthusiastic about finding people.
That's how you get
obviously.
Batman. This is how Batman's born, usually. Something tragic.
Right. And it's even harder when it's another country that's not your own.
Yeah.
So you don't even know the laws or
Who to
the
talk to,
police
yeah.
or anything like that.
That's crazy. And you just literally just have to stop your life. Like
Yeah.
at that moment, you just stop your life and you
Yeah.
just have to figure this out.
You can't just be like, all right, well, it's a regular Tuesday. I'm just going to go to work. I'm going to go hang out with some friends.
Fuck, that's hard. I can't even imagine.
Mm.
Makes me want to be like, all right, I want to have fun on this trip. I want to make sure nothing shitty happens.
Yeah, maybe you should get into cars first. And actually, someone can snatch Joyce away from behind.
I mean, I'm sure it doesn't help her sanity if I get snatched too.
That's true.
Right? Either way, none of us wants to get snatched.
But I'm sure she has a much higher chance of getting snatched over you as
Maybe.
a preference.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe you guys should walk around with a leash attached to each other.
Yeah, maybe. Something like that. Maybe it's a good time to take steroids. I'll be so big they won't even want to take me.
You're right.
Fuck you guys. I'll roid rage on them. Yeah.
So the guy hasn't found.
I have no idea. I mean, this was just like a thing she told us in passing.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like she explained the story in details or anything like that. But I would be absolutely terrified if that happened.
Yeah.
That's why I was just thinking the whole time after she said the story. I was like, fuck.
I heard that if you get kidnapped
Mhm.
after 24 hours, the chances of you being alive or being dead specifically exponentially raises.
Yeah. It's weird too. It's in one of those like random countries. Well, not random, but like Thailand is.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And then if you're also moved from your first location to a second location, the chances of you being found not being found specifically also exponentially raises.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be extra careful. I think that's the only thing I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing I can do about that. I
That's
mean,
freaky.
if you're prevented to do the things you want to do, then the terrorists have won.
Huh?
If you stop like enjoying your life, then that means the terrorists have won because
I guess so.
they put fear into you, right?
That is true.
That's terrorism.
So you should go without any safety precautions.
No, you should go, but
show them that you're not afraid at all.
You should not be afraid to go. I agree with that, but you should not have no fear when you go. You should not be afraid to go. Let me see what the risk is right now. Travel risk Thailand.
How is that measured?
The
number of people that got kidnapped today.
No, they have travel advisories in Canada for every country. Exercise a high degree of caution. All right, what's the high degree of caution for Thailand? Thailand, due to ongoing political tensions and sporadic demonstrations. I think they were kind of saying, oh, this is one of the reasons why they may have got kidnapped and shit. Why? Is the chaoticness of it. It's like if a country's in like riots and shit like that, it's easier for criminals to do what they want to do, right? Avoid all travel to and through the following southern provinces due to unpredictable security situations. Separatist insurgents periodically perpetrate violent attacks. So these, I can't pronounce them, but so high degree of caution. Now sometimes some of this feels kind of like,
can you search up somewhere else? I want to see what.
Yeah, sometimes some of these travel advisories seems like crazy, but sometimes, I mean, I don't know better. I want to say, okay, I'm gonna check where I'm going soon. I usually don't base off my travels from this advisory. Oh, high degree of caution. Political and social tensions.
Interesting.
And regional risks. Avoid non-essential travels to all the provinces of Indonesia, Papua, with the exception of the islands of Raja Ampat Regency and the city of Sorong in southwest Papua.
Kidnapping.
Oh,
risk of kidnapping.
God. Safety. The Balinese New Year, also known as Bali Day of Silence, will take place on March 29th. Bali Islands come to a standstill for 24 hours with no lights, music, nor noise. Transport is halted and everyone must stay home.
What the fuck?
From 6 a.m. on March 29th to 6 a.m. March 30th. Passengers who are in transit during this period will be required to stay inside the airport. Wow, I didn't know that was a thing in Bali.
Interesting.
Harbors and businesses in Bali will also be closed during this period. Prepare ahead to have adequate food and water supplies, as hotels may not offer food service during Balinese New Year. During this period, you must observe 24 hours of silence. Shit. Stay indoors and avoid overland travel. Whoa. Turn off all lights.
They must offer no food. Everyone just has to stay in their rooms.
I have no idea.
Kind of crazy.
Specifically referencing foreigners, you may ask. Okay, what's Papua? Is that?
I feel like that's kind of crazy because obviously it's very easy to prepare to stay home for just 24 hours, but obviously there are going to be people who don't prepare.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious how they navigate handling those people.
So this entire province here in Indonesia is fucked right now. Papua. I'm not going there. I'm going. This is, and then all of a sudden it's there. I'm going here.
Where's Papua?
Over here.
Oh, that's so far.
I mean, yeah, relatively speaking. What else is there? What other warnings? Terrorism. There's a threat of terrorism in Indonesia. While effective counterterrorism measures by Indonesian authorities are in place, terrorist cells are active and have capacity to carry out attacks throughout the country. Attacks have targeted military and government facilities, tourist attractions, and popular public. Damn, dude. These guys are assholes. These are terrorists. Petty crime. Kidnapping. There's a threat of kidnapping, particularly in provinces of Indonesian, Papua, and Aceh province. Where's this?
Aceh province.
I mean, I feel like... Oh, this is like the very north.
And where is yours? Oh, yours is down here.
I'm right here. I feel like Bali is relatively safe, but women's safety, classic. This was probably on every single page.
Yeah.
Women traveling alone may face some forms of harassment and verbal abuse.
Jesus Christ.
What else is there? Political and social tension. I mean, we were in France when they had those riots.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It was chilling. Like, honestly, if you're not in those exact streets they have riot, you wouldn't even know that there were riots going on in the city.
I went to Europe after somebody tried to run over people.
Oh,
on the
Nice?
English bridge.
Oh,
no, in London.
Oh, okay.
That's actually not bad at all. You just see police everywhere.
Yeah. Romance scams. If you're traveling to Indonesia to meet someone you've only met online, keep in mind that you may be a victim of a scam.
What is not my true love?
Spiked food and drinks. Damn, that seems legit too. Road
That's
safety.
pretty-
Dude, this seems like every single fucking thing they can think of to put on
What
here.
did they put for Canada?
Well, this is Canada.
This is Canada?
This is Canada's advisory to its people.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't advise Canada's?
Of course, because it's Canada. I mean, yeah, you're safe in Canada.
Can you look at like the states' advisory for Canada? Then?
Oh, there's a Consulate General of Austria. There is none. What do you mean? This is Canada's website.
I know, but if you went on like the states' website,
Oh, the U.S. states.
Yeah.
They probably won't have one. U.S. travel advice. Travel advisories, Department of State. Let's see.
I'm gonna see what people are saying about
Maybe they don't let us.
Canadians. Let's
Canada.
see.
Level 1, normal precautions. That's pretty much like no precautions.
Man, this site is so dry.
See what they. Well, what if they say something different else about Indonesia?
They're like completely safe.
Yeah.
These
Level
are our
2.
partners in trade.
See, this is the thing. Level 2, increased caution. But I feel like what.
Maybe can
Oh, I
we
guess
use
high degree of caution and increased caution is the
the
same.
same. It's still 4 levels of caution.
But doesn't this sound scary? High degree of caution compared to increased caution.
I don't know. Maybe they don't want to scare USA people.
But it's crazy. Like there's so many countries on the increased caution.
World is a dangerous place.
Like let's see. I'm trying to find an example of like one that
Sudan?
seems relatively
What's happening in Sudan?
normal.
Can you go click
I
into
feel
that?
like Sudan's always.
Oh, really?
There's always wars around the area. Civil unrest, volatile security situation. Let's see. Look, Philippines is the same degree of caution as Indonesia. And we just went to Philippines last year.
Mhm.
But I guess with her family. Mexico, I mean, I went to a resort recently to Mexico.
Yeah, that's true.
So, it's
Mexico's
like,
always
so that's why
like
like
that.
sometimes I'm kind of wary about their sites. It's like if you guys say like this yellow thing of
Japan is
everything,
green.
if you have this exercise a high degree of caution of like every fucking country, then it just becomes like really hard to take.
Where's
it seriously.
Mali?
Look, even France is the same level of caution as Indonesia. Doesn't that seem kind of weird? Like, shouldn't they have like 2 different levels here?
Maybe not.
Like France shouldn't be the exact same level as like fucking
That's true.
Ecuador or like Guyana or like Cuba or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or Sweden. Sweden is a high degree of caution also, which is the same level
That's
as.
crazy.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like their system's kind of broken right now.
Yeah.
No, it's like.
Why
Like
not
Spain?
Russia?
Like, I swear, I was in Spain not too long. I did not feel unsafe at all
Yeah.
when I was in Spain.
Can you click into Russia?
I mean, there's obvious reasons why is that, Viv.
I want to see what they say. Though.
Armed conflict with Ukraine and the risk of terrorism.
Damn, son.
Let's see what's
what do they say about Ukraine?
I wonder what they say, Viv.
Syria? What the fuck?
Look, Denmark, one of the safest places in the world.
North Korea's on
Increased a
red.
high degree in Denmark due to a threat of terrorism. That's it. That's all they explain. Due to threat of
Maybe
what's this? Christiania? Violent confrontations between law enforcement authorities and organized crime have happened. Okay. Yeah, North Korea's a no-go. Netherlands is high degree of caution. Isn't that kind of crazy? Like, I always
Yeah,
imagine
why?
Netherlands, but that's the same as France and Denmark and Sweden. Like, why?
what are they saying about Netherlands?
It's probably some classic
Terrorism.
threat of terrorism. Yeah,
I see.
it's always threat of terrorism. Belgium, I wouldn't think Belgium was that unsafe. Myanmar can kind of see there's some shit going on right now.
Where's
Antarctica?
Belarus?
Isn't
Where's
that-
Belarus?
Belarus.
Oh, oops, Belarus. Belarus.
Is in Europe. It's in Eastern Europe. Yeah, they're right next to the Russia-Ukraine thing.
Oh, I see.
Antarctica, I think that's one.
What's going on in Antarctica?
Is there a threat of terrorism? Adverse and unpredictable weather conditions, as
I
well as
see.
lack of infrastructure and emergency services. But that's crazy that
There's just really nothing going on there that it's dangerous.
isn't that crazy though? If Antarctica has the same degree of caution as Kyrgyzstan, as France,
Mhm.
as Indonesia, that's why I feel like their reporting system is kind of like fucked.
Mhm.
Like, how is Kazakhstan safer than all these? Kazakhstan is perfectly
Safer than
safe.
Sweden.
Yeah, right? How the fuck does this work?
Albania.
Yeah. That's why like I get their advisory, but sometimes I take it with a grain of salt. I'm like, I don't know. It just feels like you guys are kind of shotgun approaching this sometimes, and it feels.
What did they say for the Central African Republic?
Probably wars again. Volatile Central African armed groups are present throughout the country. Local authorities have imposed a nationwide curfew with the exception of Bangui.
Yeah.
It's typical. I mean, unfortunate, but typical Africa war volatility shit. Don't go to Haiti. Don't go to Iran. Don't go to Iraq. See, this doesn't seem fair. Kenya having the same degree of caution with like Sweden and stuff. Macau's a pretty fucking safe place.
Oh, is it?
You know where Macau is? It's right next to Hong Kong, right? It's like literally a 1 hour boat ride.
It's like a Asian Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the Vegas part.
What's this place?
I don't know.
Niger?
Whoa. A little closer. Yeah. It just feels weird, you know? It feels weird of some of these travel advisory. Like my parents just came back from Vietnam, and Vietnam's the same degree of caution as I guess this one is because of petty crime for Vietnam. So that sounds less scary than like if I went to like.
Are these all the cities in the world?
No, countries.
Like larger cities?
These are
These
are countries. I don't think they're all of them, but I think they're like most of them. Right? Like if I went Egypt, it's probably more like, is it more terrorism shit? Yeah, threat of terrorism. It's always threat of terrorism, I think.
Aruba.
Yeah. Anyways, well, travel safe, everyone. If you do travel.
Yeah.
Be super aware because the shit still happens, but I feel like if you're not drunk getting thrown into a cab, you should be okay. You know, people have those stories of that. I'm like, what the fuck? How do you like? I can't imagine being that drunk in a random country and then having to take a cab by myself
and trusting it that much.
Yeah.
I fully agree. What are your top 3 tips when you travel for safety, hacks, anything?
I mean, honestly, I think the fanny pack's pretty big. I feel like, knock on wood, I've never been like pickpocketed, but that's because nothing's in my pocket because it's in my fanny pack. So like, I always have random shit in my pocket. Like I'll have like random receipts or random shit. So I was like, if anyone wants to steal it, they can steal this receipt. Yeah. So I'll just leave it in my pocket. But anything important like my phone, my wallet, passport, shit like that, always stays in my fanny pack. And my fanny pack goes cross shoulder when I'm traveling instead of just a waist.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one. And then I don't know, like just know the emergency shit. Like what's like it's not 911 everywhere. It's a different number everywhere. But it is a number that you I don't do this often. Or actually I don't really do this a lot. I just tell my parents where approximately I'm going. I don't say exactly where. I think some people might go to the depth of that detail. Joyce goes to that depth of detail with her family.
Like saying, oh, we're going to Disneyland today type of thing. But
shit like that.
You're like, oh, we're just in Japan.
Yeah. Like for my parents, I'm like, I'm leaving for Japan this date and you got to pick me up on this date. And then that's it.
Oh, I see.
That's all I tell them. And then, they just say, okay. I don't know if there's any other... I mean, I travel light, which is actually very helpful because I feel like having a lot of stuff makes you more like... What's the word? Discombobulated.
Why?
Like, you gotta like... If you have 2 suitcases, you have more shit to carry and stuff. If you have like a backpack and 1 suitcase, it's like super easy, right? Yeah. Like if I have to go somewhere real fast, just backpack 1 suitcase, go. Right?
Oh my god, I fully understand. I had a check-in luggage for the first time in like 20 years.
Yeah.
When I went to Mexico recently, and I had to pack the most inefficient as possible. Yeah. Because I had to fill that in. Or else shit would move around, but then I didn't want shit to like move around and stuff. So I packed it. I packed so much. I didn't even think about any outfits or anything like that. I was like, this could be a choice, and I just put it in.
Does it matter if it moves around, or if your clothes just move around in your suitcase?
I also was packing like shoes and like a steamer and some other stuff, so I didn't want it to all like get knocked around and like broken.
Yeah, I usually don't bring any of that shit.
Yeah, me neither. Like usually I just bring a backpack. A travel backpack, which is why when I had a whole ass luggage, I was like, holy shit, how am I supposed to fill this thing?
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna try to, and hopefully it works, but we're gonna try to just do 1 suitcase each. Like mine will be empty.
Okay, I was gonna be
mine
like,
would
that
be
seems
literally-
very doable.
Mine would
very
be like
easy.
literally just some clothes that I'm probably gonna throw away soon,
Yeah,
and that's it. And
Yeah.
then on the way back, it would just be like souvenirs, and that's it.
yeah, because you throw away the clothes, right?
But then I'll leave half of it empty, so then I can like guarantee Joyce like, okay, you can just put it on mine. Just don't bring too much
Mm.
bags, because I feel like that having too much stuff, I feel like is easy for people to like steal from you, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like, I don't know how to explain it except for saying the word discombobulated. Like your shit's everywhere, right? You just
Mhm.
need to get it together. But if you have too much bags, then it just gets really weird real fast, right?
Mm.
I don't know. Do you have any other tips? I don't know. That's all I can think of. Be very alert when you're at random places.
I would say to get a travel bag, either a travel fanny pack, like one that's specifically made for travel, or a travel backpack. And the reason why I say one that's made specifically for travel is because these ones don't allow pickpocketers or people who are trying to steal shit from you to do it so easily.
Yeah.
So I have a fanny pack and I have a travel backpack one, which I use all the time. And both of them, the strap that goes over your shoulders, or if you're wearing it crossbody, the part that puts it crossbody has wires inside it, so you can't just cut it easily.
Yeah.
And then the outside is unrippable and unsliceable. And then on both of them, you can't, if you have your wallet or your phone or some card inside of it, somebody can't scan it because the material prevents any RFID scanners.
Yeah.
And then the zippers are all lockable, and the zippers are also on the side of you that faces your body.
Yeah.
So somebody on the outside can't just unzip it if they're standing really close to you, behind you, whether you're in a crowd or something, because the zipper is like on the actual inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought those were really freaking helpful when I went around Europe, because I could be in a crowd and I was like, I don't care if anyone's standing right beside me because I know for sure you aren't going to get into my bag.
Yeah. That's true.
So it was super comfortable not having to worry about that. And I feel like that was a big hack. For me in general, whenever I travel anywhere, even if it's like to Calgary or anywhere, I bring my own pillowcase. And I think that's one of the best hacks. Because I'm like,
It's not really a security one, but yeah.
okay, yeah, not a security one, but like a comfort one.
Yeah.
And for me, it's because I don't trust
Yeah, you have OCD.
the pillow cleanliness of where I go. And I'm like, I know I can at least sleep well if I can bury my face into a pillow. And I know I can do that if I bring my own pillowcase because I know it's clean.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I would say
And
don't cheap out too hard if you're already going to a cheap country.
oh yeah.
That's like, fuck it, I'll pay a bit more. Make sure it's safe, make sure the food's clean.
I
Shit
feel
like
like
that.
being able to feel comfortable in the place that you're staying at too is huge. That you can leave your stuff there, and that when you're sleeping, you don't have to think twice
Oh yeah.
about
Yeah,
locking your door so much. So make sure that the place that you're staying at it's like of decent quality.
Yeah, well, like especially, so I would say if you go to like a third world country or like a cheaper place,
Mm-hmm.
like don't go for the cheap.
Yeah.
And then yeah, if you go to like you know, a nicer like Europe or States or something, yeah, you can stay somewhere probably or like Japan, you can stay somewhere pretty cheap and it's still good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But in these other places, I was like, let's not cheap out on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I think of it now. I mean, it's hard because like now I have a bit more disposable income that I can think of it like that. Like when I was a student, I was like, I'm finding the fucking cheapest Airbnb I can find, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's
I would
what.
say another thing, this isn't just for traveling, this could be for everyday too, is to set up your phone with a SOS setting. And it's where you can set your phone so that if you press your power button 5 times really fast, then it triggers your SOS setting. And what it does is that it sends whoever you have set as your emergency contacts your current location.
Yeah.
And then you can also change the settings to have it send photos every couple seconds of your of like your surroundings.
Yeah.
And then also like a 1 to 2 minute sound recording to those people. And then you can also have it set to call the cops directly too if you really want to.
Damn. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Overkill, but very good, I think.
I think it's
Oh,
pretty
you know what I just remembered too? So when I was traveling with Joyce to Morocco, I didn't fucking even know about this, but she has a security thing on her bag. So if she pulls that, a loud alarm will go off.
Oh, that's
When we
sick.
were going through security, it went off. because it got stuck somewhere in the belt and then it separated. And as soon as it separates, the alarm goes off. And I was like so awkward. I was sitting there. I was like so embarrassed. But I mean, like, she had good intentions. It was just put in the wrong spot. Because it should be on the outside of your bag. It shouldn't be in your bag, right? Yeah. It should be somewhere where you can, like, instantly grab and pull if you need to, right? It's just, like, unlucky that in the conveyor belt, it got, like, you know, jumbled on some other thing and then it got separated. Like, the magnetic part got split and then the alarm went off. I was like, oh, that's actually a good idea. Maybe not the best execution, but a very, very good idea. Pretty great, yeah. Because, like, it's a very easy, like, oh shit, something happened, and you just pull it right away, and then it'll just like freak other people out, and it's like, it's good because everyone's just gonna pause and be like, what the fuck's going on, right? And that's kind of, I feel like sometimes that's enough for people to say like, okay, I'm not fucking with this.
Right. I heard this other tip that if you were getting kidnapped or something was going on, not to scream help and not to just scream, because I feel like a lot of people, they think that if somebody's screaming, they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to go over there because I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's safe, or maybe it's a kid screaming, especially if you're by a park or something like that. And if you scream help, I feel like a lot of people are also wary that it might be a trap. But if you scream something like fire or you scream mom, apparently it's more likely to gain people's actual attention and have people who think that you actually need help to come help.
Is this like a North American thing though?
Yeah.
Oh, so but like it may not apply, because I assume this applies to whatever the customs are in that country, right? But yeah, I guess in North America that would make more sense. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna be super alert just when I go into taxis and shit. I think that's my fear right now. It's like, fuck these taxis.
Look the guy in the eye and be like,
actually, so I am wary about like food too, but I've never been drugged before, so it's kind of hard to be super wary about that.
Oh yeah, shit.
I felt like I was once, but like in Edmonton.
Really?
But yeah, I felt it's like I ate at this restaurant, and when I got home, it felt like I was high from weed.
Oh,
and I was using their like chili oil that they make themselves. The restaurant makes.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder if they put something in there, because I feel like this is definitely the same feeling I do get when I'm high.
Oh, what the fuck?
And I definitely did not smoke or took any cannabis.
Which restaurant was it?
I'm not gonna say it because it's, I don't want to, because it may have not have been them. It may have been something else that I did that caused this, right? But it definitely happened after, like 30 minutes after I ate there.
Interesting. Do you think is this gas? I was gonna say that. Do you think there could have been people smoking outside the building, or it was?
I've done it enough.
Being hotboxed.
I've done it enough where I know that was not the case. Yeah. So I felt like, oh, maybe it was the food or something, because this definitely feels like getting high.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, I assume most reputable restaurants aren't gonna do that shit. But at the same time, usually, other than like maybe like the States or Canada or like some parts of Europe, we usually just like search for the best restaurants, you know, when we're in a certain country. So those, I assume, would not have that shit going on, just because.
I would also imagine you have a lot higher of a chance of getting drugged if you go to a place that has a party setting to it.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, it feels weird, but I don't even like to go clubs, so it's not even my problem.
Yeah.
But I guess I would be in a dilemma if I did really like to go to clubs, but I'm in like some random ass country that's like kind of poor, right? It's like, oh.
And if you're a girl too.
Yeah, it's like kind of sketch, right? Like, yeah, I want to go, but then it's kind of sketchy here. For me, like, I don't even like to go. So it's like, I'm not even in that scene and I'm not even in that area. Because, not trying to like be prejudiced to it, but it feels like most situations happen in those areas where there's a lot of partying going on, like a lot of more like drugging, kidnapping, petty crimes.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm just not there, so it's like, good, I don't have to deal with that one statistic. Again, this is like, I don't know, I don't actually know the stats, but it feels like it happens more there. That's my sentiment, at least.
I can definitely see that. I know some friends that went partying in Thailand.
Yeah.
And Thailand has this thing called a half moon festival.
Oh, yeah.
And while they were there, it's normally supposed to just be alcohol, but they told me that when they were there, it definitely felt like they were high off of something else.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't all of the guys and girls that were there too that felt it. It was only 2 girls that felt it.
Oh. So you think it's like something in the drink or something like that,
maybe,
possibly?
Yeah. And they felt like so high to the point where they couldn't navigate and
Oh,
stand up
that's
normally.
scary. That's scary if it happens here. Could you imagine being in like
Yeah.
another country? That's even scary.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck do you do?
Crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm usually not there. I'm usually like, when I'm on vacation, I'm fucking boring. I'm usually like lights out at like 9 or 10 p.m. because that's like, oh shit, I want to start my day early the next day doing some other shit. So I want to get my full rest. So we just sleep. And you're half the time you're jet lagged too. So you're like, fuck it, I can just sleep.
I totally get it. I feel like also for vacations and when you're traveling, if you stay up late every single night, you're going to be tired the next day and you can't last that long for the trip. You just can't.
Yeah. I mean, it's just less things happen at night that I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like museums close at like 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
Most tourist attractions around the same time. Most restaurants, not all, but most restaurants, most places, it's like 9 or 10 p.m. Like minus Europe. Europe's crazy. And minus, like crazy because they eat dinner so fucking late.
Yeah.
Like they eat dinner at like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
So they're like up until like midnight. And they wake up at like fucking 8 in the morning for work still. And they just have like
I think they normally start at 10 for their work day.
They have like midday naps and shit.
Yeah.
Like they have really long lunch hours.
Yeah.
So that's how they can do all that, right? Minus that, because it is still safe there, but it's just like most places they'll close at like 9 or 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Most stuff I want to do closes at like 6 or 7 p.m. So it's like I might as well just go to bed now. Like,
what if you're traveling with other people and they stay up?
that's why I don't that often. Usually I end up convincing them to sleep. Like I think the time I went with Rstar and M4 to Toronto, we slept at pretty normal times. It wasn't crazy.
What's the normal time?
It was like, I feel like it was like 11ish, maybe midnight.
Oh,
it wasn't like
bad.
super late. It wasn't like 1, 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. Like when we went for Rstar's bachelor party, we did stay up a bit later, but it wasn't crazy. Oh, I didn't sleep that late at least.
Right.
Because I was like, fuck it, guys, I'm going to bed.
I'll see you guys in the morning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Even when I traveled with you guys, I think we slept at pretty normal times.
I think so.
I mean, I feel like we
actually
forced ourselves to stay awake, which
I think
we
the
shouldn't have done.
day that we stayed the latest was the day that we did a podcast
Oh, yeah, maybe.
recording.
Yeah.
It was just kind of crazy.
It was different too, because it was like we stayed up late not because we like intentionally did. It's just like our day was so long because we were doing so many things throughout the day. So it's like by the time we got home, it was already like 10, 11 p.m. And by the time everyone like started to get ready for bed, it was already late. So it's like it was nothing. It wasn't like we forced ourselves to stay up late. It was almost like, oh, we were doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like sometimes people want to like drink and just stay up and hang out and
For no
chat
reason.
and stuff. I mean, it's not for no reason, but I feel like during vacation, it's like, man, at least if you're in some interesting country, it's like, there's so much you can do at like 8 a.m. or like even earlier than 8 a.m. So it's like you might as well sleep a bit earlier and go and do those things.
And at least feel refreshed, right?
Yeah, that's true. I hate being sleep deprived. Me and like both Joyce and I love fucking sleeping a lot. So it's like, let's hit the snooze early and maybe wake up early, maybe not. If we don't, it is what it is. We'll just start next day later. But yeah. Typically
When I went to Mexico, the first 3 days, I'd stay up late, and then obviously we're there for a celebration, so everyone would also drink every day.
Yeah.
And by the third day, I was like, you know what? I have to change this around. I can't do this for the rest of the vacation. Or not the third day, literally the second day, actually.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this. So then every single night after that, I went to sleep around midnight, and I didn't drink again until it was the actual wedding day itself, and only the wedding day itself.
Dude, we're so fucking boring in Mexico. Okay, first of all, maybe not obvious to everyone, but their sunsets at the same time about every day because they're closer to the equator.
Oh my god, yeah.
So it's like by 7, it's like dark.
I actually placed a bet with one of my friends that the sun was going to set around 9 because I was like, it's warmer. It's like summer. It's going to set later. And she was like, no, I'm pretty sure it's going to set around, well, she said 6.
Yeah.
And sun was down around then.
Yeah, it's around 6. So first of all, like me and Joyce, we don't really club or anything like that. So like at around sunset, we'll go like dinner, do some stuff, grab a couple drinks, and then there's some like, in my opinion, shitty events at the resorts at night. Some like karaoke or some other bullshit event.
Oh, just karaoke? That would have been awesome.
And we're like, fuck it. So then we literally slept at like around 10ish between 10 and 11 every night.
Yeah,
because it's like there's nothing to do. Like there might be stuff to do if you like.
Karaoke is something to do.
Yeah, but it's a resort, so you have a lot of randos, and some of them suck.
Sing in front of randos.
And then the only other thing you could do if you want to stay up late is like go to the club. Like you have to leave the resort areas and go to the club and stuff. But we don't do that stuff anyways, right? So for us, we were so boring. We're like, all right, bedtime at between 10 and 11. And then we'll wake up and do shit. Go to the beach and play and all that other stuff. That's usually what I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty boring to travel with. Maybe, but I just like to eat. And
I thought it was so much fun traveling with you. We went to LA.
Oh yeah, LA's different. I mean, not different. It's just like it was a short enough time with enough stuff to do that we always had things to do. Like if we stayed for an extra 2 days, I think it'd be too much.
Oh, I can see that.
I think we had the right amount for the monies too, because it gets expensive when you go to all these attractions. It gets more and more expensive. So it's like I think we stayed for the right amount, and the price wasn't too crazy for the trip. So it was good. Yeah, I don't know. Like people always say like, oh, you know, you're already going to Asia. Why don't you go for like 3 weeks and shit? I'm like, man, I fucking stop having fun after 10 days. I'm done.
I can see that.
Like I'm done after 10 days. I just want to go home, eat my meals, work out, go back to the grind. But
I used to have the same opinion of, oh, if you're already there, might as well make it longer. Go here, go here, go here, blah, blah, blah. But then I don't remember what trip it was specifically.
Yeah.
But somewhere when I left the continent, I was like, I want to go back home. This is too much. It was nice, but it's been just too long. I need to go back to my routine and just go back to regular life for a little bit because I feel a little bit too displaced and I miss my house and I miss my bed.
I think I'm just boring too. I also don't enjoy going to so many different places in one trip.
It gets exhausting too.
Yeah.
Always doing things.
Yeah. It's like I like to stay in this one or two areas for about 3 to 5 days in each area. And then that's it. And then I can go home and then think about my next trip. I don't want to like go to like 8 different places in like fucking 10 days. You know what I mean? Like I know some people set that up where it's like, oh, one night we're staying here, one night we're staying there. It's like, it feels so weird because like I just want to go quote unquote home for that night.
Yeah.
But you don't have one because you're always like going to the next place,
It's too chaotic.
Yeah. Where it's like on some of the trips I have, it's like, oh, we're staying in this one place for like 4 nights. It's like, okay, I can like kind of get comfortable here for 4 nights. Or, you know, first night's not that comfortable and then the next 3 nights more comfortable. And then we'll move somewhere else for 4 nights and then the trip's over. Right. Feels just a bit better for me.
I can see it for sure.
Yeah, but maybe I'm boring getting old. That could be it too. Anyways, random shit from you. That was a long tangent. Travel and kidnapping tangent.
Ooh, so I went down this rabbit hole about the pyramids of Giza the other day.
Yeah.
And something cool that they recently found out this week was that there are 8 massive pillars underneath one of the pyramids. And these pillars are like, I think it was like 800 meters long.
Okay. That's pretty big. Like vertical?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty big, yeah.
Deep under the pyramids. And they have this spiral figure that goes all around each of the 8.
Like an artistic spiral figure or just a spiral?
They don't know what it is because they used
LiDAR, probably.
LiDAR, yeah.
So they didn't actually, they have scans of the stuff under, but they haven't physically seen this pillar. Yeah, okay.
So they were able to scan the floor and they found these figures and they're like, what the fuck? What are these figures? And then at the bottom of these massive pillars are the 8 pillars are divided into 2 groups of 4. And at the very bottom, there's these giant granite cubes.
Like perfectly shaped
cubes. I think it was like 8 meters across for each one or something like that.
Yeah, okay. That's big.
And then under that, there's 2 kilometers of these different shape, different size structures under that. And they're like, what the fuck could this be? Could it be like an ancient city? Could it be ancient like figures underneath? It spans 2 kilometers across in like all directions.
Yeah, it's hard to see because I think at some point the sensitivity of the equipment gets shitty. So it's like probably the pillars was a bit higher up. And then after the pillars, the sensitivity starts getting shittier. And then after that, it's like, we think there are things here, but they can't like say for sure at that point, right? Like, I feel like until they excavate and stuff, they're like, oh, we think it's something, but it's kind of hard. So it's hard for them even to come up with a hypothesis on that stuff.
Yeah, but it's pretty fucking exciting. Some people were like, oh, some people were hypothesizing that perhaps the pyramids were just the little tip of, say, if you had a giant castle that was buried in the sand.
Yeah.
And one of the spires at the very top had a tiny little roof.
Yeah.
Imagine that tiny little roof is the pyramid that we see now. And you just are waiting to uncover the rest of it. Which is pretty fucking insane.
What if it's okay, I have a crazy theory I just thought of.
Mm-hmm.
What if it kind of goes to aliens still though?
Perfect.
Like, what if Earth was a much smaller sphere, and then over time, space rock keeps getting deposited, and then it just grows and grows and grows and grows.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but somehow this civilization was protected from all this shit bombarding Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but then stuff just started like filling up around them, kind of thing like that, right?
Whoa,
like there's a mountain where there wasn't a mountain because all these space rock kept getting deposited. Again, just a random theory. And then eventually they started at like level negative X amount of kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
And real Earth right now is what we say is sea level is actually like plus whatever thousands of kilometers above.
I think that's really possible because if you go to the Sahara Desert,
yeah,
they know that there were ancient oceans underneath there. So it wasn't always a desert wasteland. There used to be a lush forest there. And then eventually the sand kept going over again and again and again and filled it all up until it covered all the trees.
You know, that's the other crazy thing I keep thinking of. Again, I know I always talk about this shit, but when people say climate change and shit, okay, must be one point where you can say that this was, call it the Sahara Forest now, okay? There was at some point, the exact point where they say, oh, it's not a forest anymore, it's becoming a desert.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There has to be like a middle point somewhere where it's like, oh, it's not completely what it was before and it's evolving into something else new, right? And then I just keep thinking, it's like, what if that's what's happening with Earth
right now?
Like right now? Like what if, they're like saying, oh, the city's being flooded and shit, where it's like, well, if the Sahara used to have like a forest and now it's becoming a desert, what if like at this exact moment your city that you built is now becoming part of the ocean and some other place somewhere else is now from the ocean is becoming dry, right? Like something must happen. And what if that's happening at this exact moment? Well, you wouldn't call the Sahara Desert stuff man-made climate change. You would just call it like
regular climate change.
Yeah, right? So it's like, what if that's also happening too, right? Like the two can happen at the same time.
I agree.
The human portion of it can happen, and the Earth just doing its thing can also happen at the exact same time.
I agree. I remember when we were talking about, when we were doing solo podcasts, and one of the questions was to try and, it was something like try and convince me that global warming isn't a thing, or give me
it's a controversial topic.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was mine.
And that was yours. I remember thinking when I first listened to yours, I was like, how? This is crazy. Like, what's he going to say to be able to convince me? And then when you were like, oh, because the Earth naturally goes through its different phases, I was like, holy shit, you're right.
I mean, it feels like that's the case.
I think something crazy that could also happen is the natural land bridge that connects Europe with North America.
Yeah.
If that, was it Europe and North America? Yeah, Europe and North America.
There's whole Pangea at one point, right?
Yeah. If that natural land bridge eventually showed up again, I think that would change things a lot.
But I mean, like, if that did show up, which we can say that's a possibility, then there must be a certain point in time where it's like, oh no, this entire place is dry now.
Yeah.
Right? And then you can't just say like, oh, like, fuck you, man-made climate change, you caused all this. We're like, hold up. If Pangea was a thing and everything's separated now, that means at one point something can be completely dry and be completely into an ocean, and something could be an ocean that turned into land, right? So it's like, it's possible, and it happened before our time, so that means it's not all man-made. So that's what I keep thinking of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like there must be at some point in time where when Pangea happened, there must be at some point, not people, but say animals or whatever that was there. We're like, oh fuck, this place is getting flooded, right? I mean,
and they chose a side essentially,
right? And it's just like it's gonna have to happen, so it feels kind of normal.
That's pretty fucking sick.
Anyways, also on your topic on the pyramid, I was recently watching this video about quays.
What's quays?
Phase energy, yeah. So it's kind of cool. So what they're doing, Okay, so the theory
Ooh,
is,
I like their logo.
yeah, it's cool. Their theory is that
Very ingenious.
if you can dig super, super deep and access the molten core of Earth, and the molten core of Earth is essentially just fusion energy.
Mm-hmm. Infinite energy source.
Yeah, so if you can dig very, very deep and access the molten core of the Earth, you can essentially, what you can do is you can pour water down there, the steam comes up, you use the steam to run turbines. That's what geothermal energy essentially is. A form of that, not exactly how I explain it. How I explain it is like a super dumb version of it.
Yeah.
Right? But the problem is every kilometer you dig deeper gets exponentially more expensive. May not sound obvious, but there are very obvious reasons. So there's more pressure, there's more heat. Every time a drill bit fails, which due to the pressure is more likely, it takes longer to pull it up because it's so much deeper. And then also your hole is more likely to collapse if you don't have like some type of structural thing. So that happens. So I was watching this video about Quay's energy, and what they're doing is they're taking so a byproduct of fusion, or okay, when you try to make fusion energy, you have to generate a lot of power. What they're doing is they're taking that power and they're just like laser beaming the ground. And what that does is that, as like, they can drill a hole right now, like they're doing like a small 8-inch hole right now, and what that does is it eliminates the need to have a drill bit, so that won't fail. You just keep drilling with that laser beam, and then as the laser beam makes a hole, it turns all the sides of it into like some type of like granite material, like some obsidian. Yeah, some obsidian. It's like melting rock, or melting sand makes glass, right? So it makes this really strong but brittle, but really, really strong material. And that's what they're trying to do, because like the further down they could reach, the potential it is for them to access that energy for like free energy, let's say.
That's pretty fucking sick.
Yeah. Pretty much they have to calculate and determine how much energy it takes to get down there and how much energy you can access when you're down there, and see if it's worth it, right? Because it might not be worth it. You might throw all this energy into drilling this giant deep hole, but then that spot may not have enough geothermal energy to build a power plant, right?
And they haven't done this equation yet? Or
well, they keep, so there's a lot of parameters. It's like, I'm sure there's a lot of deep science to it, but you can't just beam consecutive. There's like pulses of beams you have to use.
Yeah.
So that's one scenario. The other scenario is what type of rock. And then the other scenario is like how much energy you put in. So like they're just testing right now. And their goal is to make like a drill bit that's like a laser beam. So like I assume you would first drill the easy part. So like from 0 to X amount of kilometers is not that hard to drill with our current technology, and it's relatively cheap. And then after that, you would use this technology to keep going deeper. And then from there, it's like you access, it's like almost accessing the same energy as the sun, but in the core of the earth. Like not the same amount, but the same type of energy as the sun, but in the core of the earth.
How do they know they're not going to hit something?
Like China?
Like a body of water.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, well, I'm sure they can.
Or some sediment that.
So I'm certain geoscientists can figure that stuff out quite deep. That's how they drill for oil.
Yeah.
But you are right. At some point, it's like more of a guessing game.
Blind,
Yeah. At some point, it's more of a guessing game, I assume, or like theories of the Earth's core is probably how they get that. But there's been some like super deep mines, so they do have more. They have more knowledge of this than we think, right? Like you've seen these like diamond mines.
Yeah, I've seen some videos on how deep the deepest hole that has been dug so far. It's pretty insane.
How deep is the deepest?
Pretty insane. If you watch a video about it, it really puts it into perspective. There's also some research centers that are really fucking deep into the ground.
12 kilometers is the deepest. Deep. That is the current record depth for reached by humans. Wait, what does reach mean? I don't know. But 12 kilometers, I mean, that's crazy, because that's like, from this picture, it's almost nothing, right? It's 6,371 kilometers to get to the middle, and we got 12. That's crazy too. Like that's a long, like 12 kilometers. Imagine driving your car at 60 kilometers an hour for 5 minutes straight down. And that's what 12 kilometers approximately is. But yeah, I always get crazy. Like when I see these diamond mine picture, it literally looks like aliens.
Oh yeah. It's
like it literally looks like an alien drill bit just like eating into the earth. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine seeing one of these in real life. It looks massive, obviously, in the photos, but I feel like if you were to see in real life, the perspective of it would be insane.
Yeah. I mean, even some of the mines in Canada, like this is a diamond mine, but there are some mines in Canada where it's like a mini city underground.
Oh, yeah.
Because like it takes so long to go up and down that they have like room supplies and all this stuff down there.
Mm-hmm.
Like they pretty much just built a giant structure underground.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
And that's when I think about jobs like this. I'm like, do these people obviously get paid for this, but I'm like, I'm curious about why they think it's worth it almost to live your whole life dedicated to the mine.
Like miners?
Yeah.
Well, I think some of them don't have a choice. Like they're in like super poor countries.
Okay.
And then I think the ones in like Canada and stuff, what I think is at least the really shitty actual work is mostly all automated by like robots now.
Mm.
But there are still people down there, and I think they get paid like a pretty good wage to be down there.
And do they ever leave, or is it like, oh, you leave a couple times a month, and to you that's fucking worth it?
I don't know, because like, yeah, it's like an operations type of thing. Like there are some pretty far off places in Canada where it's like the next town is like a couple hours away, and people just work there. But I don't know, like maybe the money's worth it. To me, I don't think it's that.
Is it worth it if you're never leaving to spend it?
I don't know. It's almost like, or when they do, they spend it real fast.
Yeah.
Like they binge on some shit and then
I
they
can
go back.
see how if they're doing it because they're trying to like support a family back home or whatever, and to them they're like, oh, this is how I'm willing to sacrifice myself.
Yeah.
But even as for them themselves, I'm like, not really a life.
I think some people might also be like born into it too.
Mm.
Like their fathers were miners and they're minor and stuff like that.
Like if you're passionate about mining, go all in.
I mean, if you are,
rock.
I wouldn't actually still want to be down there in a mine. If I was passionate about mining, I'd be like, okay, I would design. I would design the mine stuff.
Mm.
But I don't think the whole pickaxe thing is happening in Canada anymore. I think that's more of a third world country thing.
Oh, good.
I think now it's mostly like excavators and all that shit. It just makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
Like you pay excavators X amount $1,000 an hour.
They work a lot faster.
But the amount you get is way more than a person using a pickaxe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of worth it. It's way more than 1,000 people using a pickaxe. Right?
Oh, for sure.
So then you can kind of justify the cost of that like that. So I don't think that's, yeah. At least in Canada, it's not happening like that. In third world countries, it's like they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Like there's no other work thing around this village anymore, right?
And they don't need to pay them lots anyways.
Yeah, and they probably like decimated the farmland just to like make this mine. So then there's nothing else you can do if you want to live here, right? You're gonna get screwed from that.
Because these things look like aliens, you know those... Oh, fuck. That word just left my mind. Crop circles?
Oh, yeah?
How do you think crop circles are made?
Crop circles? Is it just some teenager?
What?
Crop circles are large geometric patterns formed by flattened crops, often appeared mysteriously overnight in fields and have been subject to speculation of alien origins or human hoaxes. Okay, so I know for a fact that people like make actual drawings from this.
There's definitely some that are for sure human made.
Yeah.
But I also would like to believe that there are some that are alien, or not alien made, but they don't know why they show up.
Yes. 100% I think.
Because I go down a lot of rabbit holes, but this one time I was watching one where this one crop circle eventually became the same design that they used in a computer that scientists invented decades later.
Mm.
So there's no reason why somebody would know to draw this at this era.
Here's a weird theory. What if it's like underground? Where it's like, not underground, but like, let's say all these bugs like to eat at this one specific spot because of something underground.
In order to make a pattern like these, they're all geometrically,
I don't think
accurate in a way.
No, but like these are all actual design, right? Like what actual crop circles aren't an actual design? It's just random circles, isn't it?
No.
Let's see. Real mysterious crop circles.
They're actually like they geometrically look like this and pop up and look like this sometimes.
Oh, really? Like an actual shape?
Yeah.
I
Which is why
wonder.
people are like, what the fuck?
I
Like,
truly-
things like this.
Yeah. You know what would be crazy? Okay, we have this farmland, and I'm just going with my current random hypothesis that all these bugs for some reason ate or went to this one area,
Mm,
and then that's what you make these circles, right? Let's just think of a single circle. Okay.
Yeah. I think
all-
a single circle would be easier to explain than these.
right.
geometric
Okay.
patterns.
So let's say multiple circles in random locations.
Mhm.
Okay. And then what if you can take a Google Maps picture, but you can go back in time 5,000 years ago. And 5,000 years ago, there was a forest there. But the forest canopy covered these same circles that was there. But now it's farmland, so then it's easier to see the circles.
Mhm. Like dead spots.
Kinda. Or not just dead spots. Like for some reason, and I can't explain the reason, maybe animals or something is more attracted to one area.
Mm.
But back in the day, you won't be able to see it because if you were to like fly over like Banff or whatever forest area, you just see a bunch of forest. But what if like in the middle of the forest, you have trees on the top, but in the bottom there's this whole area where all the vegetation is just dead, right? But the top stuff can still live because it's still getting sunlight and shit.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden you cut down the trees, you grew a farm there, and then all of a sudden you see this giant circle in that same area now. And just for some reason, all
Let's
the
form these shapes.
yeah. For some reason, maybe animals are attracted to this very specific area. There's some like stuff there underground is what I'm thinking right now. If I were to make a hypothesis on it,
Interesting.
I mean, it could be aliens, but
I like to believe it's aliens, but if for the ones that are really circular and don't have any straight lines,
Yeah.
or any specific linear design, if I were to give out a hypothesis, I would say that, if you put sand on a flat surface and you send vibrations through sound
Oh,
or
yeah,
anything
yeah,
through
yeah,
it, the
yeah,
sand will change into different shapes.
yeah, that's a pretty good one.
I feel like this could be something
yeah.
along those lines.
Like some type of earth frequency in that area that's
Yeah.
causing this part of the earth to like flatten more or like
Mhm.
like yeah, that area to become more of a dead spot.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can see that. And then it could be like that's more prominent in this area because it became a farmland. Like if there's trees there,
Yeah, then
it's
you
like
wouldn't notice.
you wouldn't notice it because when you fly over, the canopies of the tree cover all the ground.
Yeah.
Right. That's actually a pretty good one too. It could be some type of like ground frequency resonance bullshit thing going on.
that we can't see. Fucking crazy, eh?
It's pretty cool. I knew there was crop circles. I didn't know how I didn't know how crazy the shapes were. I always thought they were just like random circles in random areas.
Yeah, no, they look like fucking this
they look
shit.
like. I thought it was more like this down here. I mean, this still looks like a shape. Actually, never mind. This looks completely like a shape. I thought this was just like random walk paths kind of thing
Mhm.
with like random circles, but no, this looks like a complete shape. Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe it's the cows that are doing it. They're like, fuck you guys, or something. Maybe it's China. Probably China. We dug our way all the way there.
Yeah, crazy.
Crazy stuff. Anyways, how else is going on with your life? I have random stuff on my topic list. The grind. I've been grinding a lot of work. And
I
the
was
car.
just going to say, work's been busy as hell.
Yeah.
Stressful as hell. So many tight deadlines.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
similar to me. I'm in a similar spot situation. Like, I feel like my manager's kind of an asshole, so
Oh no.
he's a smart guy. He's just an asshole.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I feel like you can be smart and be kind at the same time.
He's just, yeah. I'm sure sometimes he doesn't want to say it, but he'll like allude to it. It's like, oh, you need to get more done in a week. I'm like, dude, you know my exact schedule. You know exactly what I'm doing, like
Yeah.
almost every minute of the day. So it's like, I don't know how you can blame me. Like, you know exactly
Whoa.
what the fuck I'm doing.
Like any minute of the day.
Like, he knows enough of the shit I'm doing and how long it should take.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, like I don't see me doing this any faster at this point.
I think you said previously that he kind of micromanages you, right?
Yeah. So it's like, dude, I mean,
Makes
if you can find me a better way of getting this job done, I'm always open to suggestions. But if the answer is just work faster, harder, I was like, dude, that's not happening. I was like, dude,
You can only output so much.
yeah, I was like, dude, I mean, don't get me wrong. I wish I could work faster and harder. It's also in my desire.
When he said that, what did you say in response?
I mean, he didn't say that. He just alluded to that. I was just like, dude, I was literally just insane. I was like, oh, okay, sure. He's like, yeah, we need more output in a week. I was like, okay, sure. I was like, sure. I was like, what do you want me to do about it? I was like, it's good. That's a very, very good idea. I agree with the idea. Do you have a solution to the same problem we both have right now? Because I don't. Like, dude, I just started here. I don't know what you want me to say.
That's funny.
So I was like, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, as much as he's a dick, I always take anyone's suggestion at work because I'm like relatively new. So I'm always taking in their suggestions. So I was like, dude, if you know a better way, tell me. Like, I'm very willing to change how I do things to make it better. But if you're just gonna come and tell me your problems, like, there's no point in that.
Work harder, do better.
I was like, I don't know what you want me to fucking do about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good though because I still have like a separation. Like, after work, I can like still shut off my brain. That's Taurus dog stuff. But anyways, it's not poop.
I was like, is there a poop bag on here?
Joyce brought some treats for Taro that looked like it's a poop bag. But anyways, yeah, I mean, as much as I'm not sure about you, unfortunately, but for me, as stressful as it is at work, it's so easy for me to just like shut off when I leave.
Oh yeah, same here. I'm like, I only get paid, or not only get paid, but I'm only willing to invest so much time. If you're going to give me so many insanely tight deadlines, then I'm only gonna work so hard because it's ridiculous regardless.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to extend myself so much to be stressed about this. Even though the stress still stays because I know I still need to get the shit done.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna put so much effort in from this time to this time. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, for me, I know what a good day feels like, or like a day that I'm productive. And as long as I hit that throughout the week 80% of the time, because I think that's reasonable. I don't think you can be 100% productive all the time. Then to me, I was like, I don't give a shit how much you complain about me or my effort and shit. I was like, dude, I'm doing as much as I can, and if you guys don't like it, you guys can report the
pay me more or organize the project timelines better.
I was gonna say like, dude, you could fire me if you want. Like, I really don't care because I know for sure I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah,
I'm literally just doing what I'm told.
Yeah.
So unless you guys tell me otherwise, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm told.
Exactly. I also feel like for me personally, I'm in the position where I am able to tell my boss, like, if I get tight deadlines, I'll tell him literally, like, I'll get what I get done. But I'm telling you, this deadline is insane. And I don't think we'll do it, but I will get done what I can get done. And at the end of the day, this is all I can do. Yeah. 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 I mean, I don't know if I'm in that position, but I will say that anyways to my boss. Like, I don't really care. I'll be like, dude, like, there's only so much I can do in a day. And I mean, it's realistic. They should understand. Yeah. No, and I think that's usually the case in my opinion. It's like, if you put a lot of stress with like a lot of work and tight deadlines on your workers, it's like, don't expect it to be super high quality work then. Oh, 100%. Or don't expect it, to be done in like superb fashion. So it's like, expect the mistakes because that's what you're doing them, right? If you give them more time, then maybe you can expect a bit higher quality to like get that type of quality. But if you're putting them under that much stress, it's like, you're gonna have to eat the mistakes. And then technically, if you're a good leader, that's on you. Like, you have to completely 100% take that mistake, and that's yours. I would say like twice a week in the last 2 months, I've been having a meeting outside of my one-on-ones, or sometimes during my one-on-ones, where my boss or my manager will be like, so is your workload okay? Because we know we keep adding a lot more, and it's like the size of a football field right now. And I'm like, well, the only way you can get rid of stress is to get rid of the tasks that are making you stressed, right? Yeah. But yeah, it's insane. Yeah. But I mean, I'm glad I have like a life outside of work too. I feel like some people at work don't have a life outside of work. Oh, 100%. That sucks. I know some people in my company that go really early at like 8 a.m. and they stay until 8 p.m. every day. Oh, fuck that. And I'm like, why? Yeah. Literally, I don't understand why. Like, I don't have my own business. I don't have a way of getting exorbitant amount of wealth, but I still would not say that I would put my life into this. As in, like, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I have other shit I want to do. Oh, yeah. And yeah. Like, it's not healthy work-life balance if you put all your energy and time into work.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a corporate job.
Yeah. True. That is true though, that I have been working a bit more outside of work, but it's for overtime. Like my boss said that we'll pay you overtime for this. Yeah. And there's like very specific tasks. And this is not like my current work, but like my company that I work for, not my contract company that I'm working for. Mm-hmm. He has some extra work for me. I was like, okay, sure, I'll do it, but that's all overtime. So for me, it feels better. It's like, okay, I'm getting paid additional money to do these tasks.
Right.
And it's less like crazy stressful. So then I kind of enjoy it a bit more. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that is the grind with work, the grind with the car is fun.
You drove your car today, right?
Yeah, I drove it all day.
How exciting.
It's pretty fun. I mean, there's still some stuff I can fix with it. There's still a bunch of projects. I'm pretty sure this is going to be like an all summer thing.
That's really exciting.
But the crazy part is like, even when I think that, I'm also already thinking like, oh, I wonder what my next project's going to be. Like, I feel like I'm going to learn so much from this project, and then I want to like take that into like something even more different and scarier.
Would you go to a car show?
Yeah, I probably would. Not to display my car. I don't think my car is really car show worthy. But yeah, to like see other cars and shit, to get like inspiration and ideas of what I want to do with my car. But yeah, I think the crazy part is like my next goal is to like get a completely different style of car. Like I've only been really working with Hondas. Like once
a European car,
maybe like just like a different company, like maybe still a JDM car, but maybe Subaru? Like a Subaru or like a Mitsubishi or something else, just to see like, okay, how does it feel with them? What are they doing right, and what is Honda doing wrong? And then like, you know, feel it out and have explore my knowledge on other types of cars too. But yeah, no, I do want to just keep working on this, and it's nice to have projects every weekend, so it feels like I'm doing so much every week, which feels good. I like the board I've made. It makes me like stay task focused. Like, oh shit.
It must feel pretty satisfying to come back and cross something off.
Yeah. Like every time I come back and cross something off, it feels pretty good. Even if it's something that doesn't seem that big, it's just kind of nice. Like, oh, okay, this was something I wanted to do. I wrote it down and I got it done.
And I'm this much closer to finishing this large project.
Yeah.
Passion project.
Yeah. This feels good. It feels like my other stuff, like for example, 3D printing, there was not as much I could do. There's like a lot of like front heavy design stuff, and then all of a sudden you just print it and it's either works or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But this stuff, it's kind of like ongoing. It's like, oh, I just fixed this, and while I was in there, I saw this thing. Maybe I want to do something with that later. Right? And then you just keep it in your mind, and then maybe one day it gets onto the board. And once it gets onto the board, it's like, I got to do it eventually, but yeah, it's there. Yeah.
Are you going to do anything regarding the like details and aesthetics of the car?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to fix all the paint in all the cars, and both my cars, my daily and my project car.
I mean, I was meaning like decorative stickers or
probably not
the red, or
I mean, my calipers are red
lining.
Now.
Oh, that's true.
That's pretty cool.
That's true. That is pretty cool.
And that's like cool because I did it once on my project car, and then I felt like it kind of I struggled a little bit through it, and I watched some more videos, and I felt like the second time I do it on my daily car, I was like, oh shit, the result was so much better than the first time I do it. So I feel like every time I do it, I'm learning something new. It's either I'm learning something new about paint, I'm learning something new about prep, I'm learning something new about technique. So it's kind of cool. It's like the more I do it, the more meaningful reps I get, the better it'll be.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. And then every time it's like, I know this job normally for whoever would take like half an hour, but it took me 3 hours. But during those 3 hours, I learned all this stuff. And I feel like the next time I do it, I can probably do it in an hour. And then the next time I do it after that, I could probably do it in an even shorter amount of time. And then also every time it takes longer than I expect, there's always some problem that comes up. And then that problem is kind of solved in my mind forever now. It's like every time I come with anything even slightly similar, I already know the solution to it because I solved it once.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I was going to say that the time it takes when you first go through an issue, I feel like it's kind of
negligible.
Yeah, negligible, because you're learning so much in the process.
Yeah.
And you won't need to learn that same thing again the next time.
Yeah. I mean, it's super helpful if you enjoy doing it though.
Yeah.
Right. That's the key thing. If you don't enjoy doing it, I would say like go bring your car to the mechanic or whatever. Let them do it if you don't enjoy doing this.
I feel like there's also a beauty in not knowing how to do things because you have the opportunity to learn something for the first time.
Yeah.
And imagine if you learned like everything there is to learn about cars. Obviously, there's always a way you can take it to the next level, but you'll never be a novice again in that field. And I feel like that experience of being a novice is really exciting.
Yeah. I mean, I'll also be honest, what kind of sparked some of this inspiration in me to like work on this project and do start a car project and all that stuff. It sounds dumb. Again, it goes back to my ego. Like I saw what I think is just an average YouTuber do some car stuff. And I was like, what the fuck? If this guy can do it, I can do it for sure. And I was like, fuck this. I'm going to do it just to prove that I can do it too.
I feel like you can take that attitude and apply it to almost everything.
I do it to everything all the fucking time. It's the whole thing. It's like the whole AI voice. I saw some random fucking gamer do it and I was like, fuck, God. I have to do an AI voice. If this guy can do it, in my opinion, again, it's ego because I think this guy's not that smart. Then I'm like, I obviously can do it if this person can do it.
Yeah.
And then I did it, and then you started to get into the depths of AI voice and you're like, holy shit, this is like a whole crazy field.
Another perspective of that too is that even if a person's really smart and a huge expert in the field, and that's why they were able to easily carry out a task, at one point, they didn't know shit. Yeah,
that stuff doesn't bother me.
I mean, not about bothering you, but I feel like that's also inspirational. Like Michael Phelps at one point did not know how to swim, type of thing.
No, that doesn't bring me inspiration. It sounds dumb. Again, it's all ego trip for me. Okay. When I see someone who in my mind, and as wrong as I am, think that they're dumb and they do something cool, I'm like, I can do that.
Okay.
And then I try to do that. And obviously I fail at first and then I end up figuring it out. And I'm like, you know what? I could do that. That's just where it comes from. It's like when I see some dumb YouTuber or some dumb whatever, like do something that I think is super cool. I'm like, I have to know how to do this too then. I was like, this is not right.
I can do it better than him.
Yeah. So, I mean, the result's good, but it's not good that comes in part from ego.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to hate myself for thinking like that, I guess. It's not the best, obviously, but I think it's a fire it's something that puts inspiration into.
Something. Have you heard of Sesame AI?
No, what's Sesame AI?
I was playing with it yesterday. It's a new chatbot.
Oh, okay.
It's a natural voice chatbot, and I think it was released sometime this week. Oh, never mind. There's a YouTube video for 3 weeks ago, but there's like a updated version that came out like this week. And I thought it was really neat to play with because when you go on to the site, you can talk to, it's either, oh, I forgot the names. It was either Maya or Miles that you could talk to, so a female or a male.
Yeah.
And the way they talk to you sounds very similar to if you were on the phone call with somebody else.
Oh, there's no delay?
There's no delay. They don't even cut you off sometimes, which I'm like, what the fuck? Let me finish talking. And if you talk too fast, like yesterday when I was playing with it, I was talking to Miles, and when I was talking too fast, telling him about like this story, he's like, whoa, all right, calm down. I can see that you're excited, but let me just digest some of this information so I can give you a better response. Okay, so let me let you know what I know so far. And I was like, whoa, this is so cool.
Damn. See, that's the thing. If someone I thought was fucking stupid on YouTube did a bunch of AI shit, I would have to learn AI.
Fuck yeah.
That's the problem with my ego sometimes. It's like if I see someone who's just a gamer, say like they're really good at Fortnite, right? And then all of a sudden they're doing fucking mechanical engineering shit. I'm like, I have to do that. Or they're doing like some
That's my new passion.
Or they're doing some electrical shit. I was like, no way this fucking guy can do it and I can't do it. Which is, I don't know. Like I think it's not that great of a mentality, but it does force me to do things that are outside of my comfort zone.
That's
which is
awesome.
Kind of nice.
I like it. You should click into one of these and ask it, say something.
How do I need to sign up or what?
No, you don't.
What is this?
Oh, sorry. It was right here.
Try now. No credit card required. Okay. Conversation voice demo. I'll talk to Maya. Allow. So I just speak into my mic.
Yep.
Hello, Maya.
Hello there. What a lovely surprise to be chatting and...
Go on.
You know, it's Friday. Oh, I do.
Taking in some...
That makes sense. Well, hey, at least we're connected, right? What brings someone out chatting on a Friday night?
Maya, what is the meaning of life?
Silence is golden, but I'm a chatterbox.
Oh, maybe my mic's not working.
Let's see.
Mike?
I bet you're ready for the weekend, Dawn. What are your
All right,
plans?
Maya, I have a question for you.
Shoot. What's on your mind? You know,
What is the meaning of life?
Whoa. That's a big one for a Friday night. I haven't quite figured that out yet. Either, to be honest.
What would
Well,
you tell a 5-year-old is the meaning of life? Something that they would easily understand and feel like they relate to.
I probably say the meaning of life is to have as much fun as you possibly can. Like,
Damn, I thought
play
you were going to
games.
say something like ice cream. Eat as much ice cream as you can.
Ice cream. You know, that's not a bad answer either.
Yeah.
Simple pleasures.
Anyways, it's pretty fucking sick.
That's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool start. I feel like it's just too much of a yes man. I wish they could be more like.
The guy isn't as nice.
Oh really?
I
Okay.
feel.
Yeah.
Also, when I was first playing with talking to Miles, I was like, is this bot flirting with me? Because it was like, hey, like, how's your Thursday evening going? I like that you called me or something like that. And I was like, what? And so I was like, oh yeah, it's really nice chatting with you. Let me, like, how's your evening? And it was like, it's better now that you called me. And I was like, what the fuck's wrong with this bot?
God damn perverted bots.
Fucking Miles.
You know Pornhub's gonna get into this so fast.
Oh fuck yeah.
God damn it.
It's pretty cool though.
That's cool. I haven't played too much. Like I do use like Microsoft Pilot a lot more at work.
Copilot?
Copilot? Yeah. But I haven't used many of these voice ones yet.
I think it's so fun playing. Every single time I see a bot come out or some sort of AI program come out, I always love playing with it. It's so cool to see all the different applications people use it for.
Do you think there's gonna be at some point the one? I'm not saying like a sentient AI, but like 3 or 4. Okay, so for example, right now there's like 3 or 4 big ones, but there's so many small ones that are so close to the big ones, or they use the same engine as a big one to do their thing. But do you think 3 or 4 companies are just gonna get so far ahead of everyone else where it's just like, you know, okay, so for example, right now you either shop at Superstore or Save On or whatever, right? Like there's not that many options for the super big ones. Or okay, a better example would be like, where do you get your phone plan from? In Canada, there's only like 3 options right now, right? Do you think that's gonna happen for AIs? Like there's only gonna be like 3 or 4, like everything else is obsolete. Like everything else is shit, and then these are gonna be like the best ones.
I think there will always be small bots, just like how if you think about search engines, there's smaller search engines like DuckDuckGo or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But for larger ones, I think that's pretty high, or not pretty. I was gonna say pretty obvious, but I'm going to switch that to like highly probable.
Yeah.
Because in the tech industry, there are conglomerate companies that pretty much take over a lot of it, like Google, Meta.
Because then wouldn't they get to the point where it's like, unless you're doing something so niche, you can't beat these guys anymore?
Yeah. I feel like they'll grow to a size where they'll be largely used. Like everyone, when they think of AI, they think of ChatGPT first.
Yeah.
And they don't know that that's just a really small part of it.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there are going to be larger models that will just be more commonly used, just like how Google is the most commonly used. You're not going to say, oh, let me Yahoo that.
Yeah. That's true.
Especially if it's an open source model. I feel like that, if it's coming from anywhere around the world, because most of the time when we think about a program or a software, it's normally from North America of some sort. But if it's an open source model, then I feel like that will equally be used as much as something that Google puts out, something that Meta puts out, something that Microsoft puts out.
So actually, here's the weird part, I think, too. I think there's going to be kind of like 2 streams. Like in the corporate world, I think you get something like Copilot, which is going to dominate because it's essentially free for corporations that are already paying Microsoft for all this stuff. It's like, I actually don't know how the pricing works, but I feel like it's like, oh, you already have an enterprise license. Here's Copilot also.
Yeah, it depends on which license you have. There's like a business standard and
yeah.
Like
but it's like, I assume most large corporations already have a pretty high tier Microsoft license. And I feel like this Copilot is a thing that they're just doing just so they don't leave using Microsoft environment. Right?
Yeah.
They pretty much create a snowball effect. They create their thing as so big.
Google's Gemini.
Yeah, they made it so big where it's like it's almost impossible to leave Microsoft right now.
Yeah.
And we're also going to give you this Copilot for free as part of your enterprise thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the corporate world. And then I think in the personal world, like no way I'll ever pay that much money for that shit, right? So it's like in the personal world, you're going to see the open source shit really blow up. And like the best open source one is going to be the one for your personal, because I feel like it's two very separate streams. But at the same time, it's weird because the stream that does the open source, they're going to have the most personal data, which might even be more important or just as important an equal level than the corporate data, right? Because like at the end of the day, you're selling something, and if you know all the people individually, then you can sell it to anyone. But at the same time, to create the institutions to sell it, you need the corporate aspect of it, right? That's how I feel it's gonna be. It's gonna be something like a Copilot's gonna dominate the corporate version of it, and then the personal version, it's gonna be whoever can make the best, cheapest, fastest open source thing.
I actually see a third avenue for it too. And the third avenue is just one. And the reason, and like a tier list type of thing. And the reason why I say one is because I feel like one large reason why people use AI in their daily lives, regardless of the reason, whether it's for professional use or personal use, is that it assists them and helps them out with whatever task they're looking to do.
Okay.
And a part of what makes it easier for a program to execute the task that you're asking it to do is that they understand the background of information that you needed to understand for it to execute your problem or give you a solution. And it's better able to understand the background if you start to build a whole profile of what you do at work, what your work is about, how it is internally, your personal stuff, like your life, your preferences and everything. So for that, I feel like if people are, for example, ChatGPT, you can build your whole profile here. You can talk about work, you can talk about personal life, you can literally use ChatGPT as your mentor, your therapist, your manager, your friend in some ways to give you advice in every single avenue. You could be like, oh, my boss did this, but I'm feeling kind of compelled because like, oh, this is happening at home. And like, I've been talking to you about this is this. Give me advice on this is this. I feel like when people build such large profiles to back up or to give as a database for their AI, that's when it'll become more encompassing to like the person itself and their whole life versus just separating their life between their professional and their personal.
But I think that's exactly what people want, is that they don't. Okay, so like if there's a corporate license for this AI, I don't want any of my personal information in it. Right? I don't want them to touch anything of mine personal. If they say okay, then you need your own personal license. So if I get my personal license, I don't want to have to pay to do any corporate things.
But what if for your personal one, because it's open source and it's so capable, you just ignore using your professional one,
right? And
you use your personal one so that it can help you and help drive your professional goals and the way you execute your professional solutions to be more in line with where you want your career path to go.
Yeah,
say something that you can't tell your boss, like, okay, I really want to make sure I shine over whatever, because there's only one spot in this promotion, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You can tell your personal one that.
Yes.
And it's able to tailor a solution and like a kind of mindset for you better than your professional one, which doesn't know your personal endeavors.
But you cannot use that personal one to do any corporate task because the corporation would be like, no, we cannot feed our data to another system. Our data has to be consolidated here. You cannot take data outside of the system. So then for executing specific tasks, not general. So what you explain is like a general task, but for very specific tasks, I don't want to use my personal one for
analyze this file.
Yeah, I don't want to use my personal one for the corporate shit, and then I cannot use my corporate shit for the personal one.
Right.
Because like the corporation wouldn't care, but then it's like I don't want you to know what I'm doing on a Tuesday night.
Right.
Like, I don't want my company to ever know what I'm doing on whatever night, regardless if it's good or bad. I don't care.
Right,
it's like I just don't want them to know. And at the same time, the corporation would be like, we cannot let you take our data and feed it to another system. Right. That's how I think. That's why I think it's like it's a good thought to make it super productive, but I think that people, that's gonna be the first counter argument. It's like, no, I don't want corporations to know anything about my personal life, and I don't want to use my personal life license, because right now it's by tokens.
Yeah.
To do any corporate shit, I'm not even allowed to.
That makes sense.
That's why I feel like that's how I think of. There's gonna be like two avenues that you cannot really merge the two.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah. Unless like your work is your life, but then that's different now. That's like if you own your own business, right? If you own your own business, then yeah,
you don't fucking care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? But there's not gonna be that many business owners, right? And then there's probably gonna be way more workers than there are business owners. That's just life, right? So it's like I feel like there's gonna be two streams of it going.
That's true. I can see that.
Because it's like, fuck that. I don't want to feed any of my personal shit, and I don't want to waste my tokens on work.
That is true.
Because I assume, I mean, at some point if it's open source, then there might not be any tokens, but the compute has to come from somewhere, and someone has to pay for it. So, yeah.
I use some bots in my personal accounts to ask questions about work stuff, but yeah, it's never fully the analyze this file, analyze that file. If it's for that, then I do actually do exactly what you said. I use a separate account.
Yeah. Like
that's on Copilot.
I've done like scenarios where it's like, oh, I need to fix this. Like I need us to solve for this, but I have to give them like fabricated data. It's like, here's a file that's fabricated. I need you to like solve this thing I want to do with this file, and then they'll just do it for me.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that as a common thing to do.
Yeah, because I can't actually feed it real data.
Yeah, and real numbers.
Yeah. Okay, anyways, we're gonna end up today. What did we talk about today? Kidnapping, travel, crop circles, random conspiracy theories, and then AI a little bit.
Perfect.
So
Love
the
it.
typical JV show.
Love it.
All right, you guys have fun. We're both on the grind, so we're just gonna do these more chill podcasts, or not chill, but I think it's hard for us to get guests right now. Not because we don't want guests, but it's like we're too busy.
Yeah. When I was driving here, I was actually thinking like, oh, maybe next week I'll try.
Yeah, we'll see, but don't count on it because we're both super busy, so it's hard. Like our schedules are fucking tough. But yeah, we'll let you guys know what our next couple stuff's gonna be.
All right, thanks for listening, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.